Hello, everyone. Thank you for checking out this episode of Really Dicey. This is Manny, and I'm here with
Greg, Danny.
Yep.
and you're all part of Ideal Hands Games.
That's correct. Yeah.
And currently, you have successfully funded Collector. Very interesting micro game that you have here. The idea, correct me if I'm wrong, the idea that you're pretty much dead, but before you could cross over to the afterlife, you're gonna have to buy your way across and hope that your rolls are good. I liked it. It's like almost like a combination of Hades and Vegas. How would you best explain this micro RPG?
I think lore-wise, kind of the idea behind it is that you're in kind of an ambiguous place that we called the realm. And we wanted it to be more of a theme than really a concrete place. And you're kind of surrounded by this chaos that's going on. It's very kind of apocalyptic, just everything's going wrong. And you're finding other rollers to play against, and rollers are what we call the players. And you're looking for gold before you inevitably die. And as you said, you have to cross the Black River and you have to pay 1,500 gold to Ubatu, the goddess of the Black River. The reason you're dying is because you've ended up playing a match against death and you're cursed. So at the beginning, when you go through the kind of player creation process, you roll to see how many days you have left, how much gold you're starting with. And normally, as a roller yourself, you'd be careful and you would avoid these collectors, the loan sharks of the realm. You're desperate and you need startup cash because you know that you're going to die in the next couple of days. So you go to collectors, you get a loan. And the issue with that is depending on how many days you're going to be alive for, the collector might come and collect its tax or his or her tax three times in that play process. So you're kind of balancing your gold in that, thinking I can't be too risky here because I have enough to pay tax the next day, and you kind of go through that.
Okay, let's just talk a little bit about the mechanics behind it. It seems like I get to feel like typical like gambling mechanics, where it's like craps or similar things. Is that on purpose?
Yeah, definitely. When I came up with the game, Danny, Joe, and I really like to play dice games like that. Removed from RPGs, we love playing RPGs as well. But when we're hanging out, sometimes we just like to play dice games. And I thought that it would be really fun to have kind of those mechanics and put them into an RPG theme and setting, where what we really like about Collector is that you can get as much RP out of it as you'd like, or you can just go very minimal and it's basically just a dice game then that you're hanging out playing with your friends.
Oh wow! And the art fits very well with the book. As I was reading the descriptions and everything, looking at the art, I was like, okay, this is how I picture being in this situation. Could you talk a little about that, about some of the art inspirations behind this?
I'll let Joe handle that one.
Well, sure. The art direction is mainly influenced, I think, by the old illustrations of Dore and his depictions of, Inferno, and also the artist Basinski. I can't really pronounce his name. It was always real surrealistic, horror-driven oil paintings, and I thought that sort of theme and motif would really match Greg's idea of this apocalyptic RPG, in a way where everything's just in despair and in disrepair, and everyone's just kind of vying against each other in that respect to try and cross over this river.
It seems that, yeah, you could play this on its own, but it seems like you could actually transport this to almost any system in a way. If you have a certain scenario, where your life is on the line in the underworld, perhaps you may have to do similar rules. Was that your intention as well?
Yeah, it was definitely, in the back of our minds as we had something like that, because most of the time when we're playing RPGs, I'm DMing. And as a DM, I loved kind of adding in little mini games into sessions, where players are climbing up a huge wall and you're flipping coins to see if boulders are coming down or something simple like that. And I like the idea where you could take Collector and you could just have a session of another game that you're playing and just kind of insert it just for a little bit, and then you don't have to use it the entire time.
Okay. If I may ask, what were the inspirations behind making this game? This is your first game. What made you all decide, okay, this is the first project we're going to work on?
Danny, you want to take this one?
Well, I think all of us have game ideas and we all have things on the back burner that we've had for a while, and the reason we started this company in the first place was because we all had these ideas, and I think we all just got together and we're like, oh, hey, let's put them all together and just do it together so it's easier. So the reason we chose Collector first was because it was just the smaller of what we have going on now. So it felt more manageable in terms of how fast we could roll it out. I mean, we took our time with it, but it wasn't like a 4-year project, where it's like, let's start a gaming company and then 4 years later roll something out. We kind of wanted to get started as quick as we could. So that's why I think we chose
originally.
this.
Oh, sorry, Danny.
No.
Originally, we are still working on a full-fledged RPG with a core manual. However, we kind of had this idea for Collector at the same time, and we thought maybe it's good to try with a micro RPG first, kind of dip our toes into the Kickstarter RPG scene, because we were quite unfamiliar with it besides just purchasing RPGs on Kickstarter ourselves. And I think actually I'm really glad we did, because we definitely learned things in this process of editing and issues that would pop up that we could never imagine, and then going back and having to fix those. And I think it was a good start in that sense.
Also, I think it's quite accessible too, with the level of what you have to do. So it's not just your experienced RPG player that can buy this, it can be anyone, and it's just going to be fun for everyone. So that's, I think, also another reason.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is your first role-playing game, and this is also your first Kickstarter campaign, and it's doing really well. What are your plans now for the future when it comes to like stretch goals?
For stretch goals, we just reached our second stretch goal, and I think we have
7 in total.
7 in total, yeah. And if we go beyond that, then of course we'll add additional stretch goals. Right now, we're just really excited to hit that second stretch goal because it was an item shop that we're going to add in a pamphlet form, like a fold-out pamphlet form to the game. And that's going to add some extra gameplay where players can decide when they have to go to the item shop and what they think they should purchase from there. And there's a bit of randomness as to which items will be presented to them. And beyond that, well, I'm not sure actually. I don't have it up. What's the next? The next stretch goal is a campaign that we're going to do as well for just players to play through by themselves or with friends, and it's just kind of an introduction to the 4 gangs that we have in the game.
Oh, okay. If I may ask, what's been some of the funniest situations you've had playing this game?
Joe and I were playing yesterday, actually testing the item shop, and on your very first day, you like died instantly, right, Joe? 2 times in a row or something?
Yep. In the first couple of days, I think. Yeah.
It can be unforgivingly brutal, and we really wanted it to be that way to kind of represent the intrepid nature of the realm and how terrible things are going there. So there are times where people start up the game and they're kind of we've been testing with friends that aren't very experienced with RPGs too, and they're kind of surprised by it. Oh, I'm dead. It's like, yeah, that happens, man.
Yeah.
And all you need is just D6s, right, for this game?
That's
2
correct.
D6s, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Is there anything else about this game that you want to share that I haven't asked you about yet?
Yeah, I'm really excited because we thought we were done, once the Kickstarter started, and now that we're reaching our stretch goals, we realize, okay, Joe still has some illustration to do. I still have some design. Greg still has some writing. So I'm just excited that we still get to work on it, so to speak. It's just been a really fun process together.
Yeah, and we kind of at our studio, we work as a collective, and we're also looking forward to our next project where we're kind of be switching roles, and Danny's going to be taking more of the lead, and we're excited to get these stretch goals done and then also work on the new project. I think we're just really happy that people took notice at all. It was cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, this is a great book. So yes, viewers out there, I will put a link in the description below. where you can check out the Kickstarter. How many days left do you have to go at this point?
27, 26, 27, something like that.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Quite a few.
So yeah, check it out now before it's too late. So thank you everyone for watching. Stay safe, get your shots, and have a good day.